in life, we're not gonna have all the answers when we want to have all the answers. When is the drug gonna be available? Is it gonna work for me? Is my liver gonna handle it?
So you gotta breathe, 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 breathe. Let it go and let it be.
Well, that's one way to start a road trip. Coughing so hard you throw up on your shirt. But, what are you gonna do? Good morning, guys. My lungs, there's this really deep rumble, and I was just coughing so hard, and I thought, like, okay, I cleared it, and then I breathed in, and it was like back down here. I was like, babe.
Yeah.
And like,
I could feel it. It was like this deep, it's almost like a squeak.
Do you know where you're going?
I'm trying.
Okay, west.
Continue on I-90 for a half mile.
Is that the one that cost us an hour?
Yeah.
We've missed that turn a couple of times. So anyway, okay, I thought I didn't have any napkins to clean up the situation down here, but I found a few. There's always a silver lining, you guys. We are on the road. We are driving to Maryland. Is today, I don't even know what day
Wednesday.
it is. Today's Wednesday. Peter is preaching at a men's retreat Friday and Saturday, and then preaching at the church we grew up in on Sunday. And then
Monday's your birthday.
So we are excited about this trip. We are pulling a trailer, a 5x8 trailer, which we, might I add, expertly packed. So much stuff. You're gonna be really impressed and happy for us that we brought so many things in a small space. And anyway, that's the start to our day. We had a crazy morning of getting everything ready. I feel like we were on, like, what is that in Mario where you can push the button and he's like on supercharge or something?
Star Power.
Star Power? That was us this morning. We just like got it all done, and my lungs were like, yes, I can! And then getting in the car, it took a little extra work, of course, to clear my airways. I mean, I did my vest and everything this morning. So anyway, we're on the road. Also, we edited and uploaded before we left the house so that it'll go up for you guys while we're on the road. We got your back. And I forgot to tell you guys, I got an email from my team. My blood work looks good. The only thing that they said was there were 2 markers that showed that my body is dehydrated. My kidneys are fine, but I don't know if this medication is making me need more water or if I'm just dehydrated, but they said drink more water. So I'm gonna do my best, which I guess that probably means we're gonna have to stop a couple more times than we usually would on this trip, but we'll do what we gotta do. But I am so thankful my liver's okay. We had no clue what to expect because, yeah. But all of it is looking good at this point. 2 weeks in and going strong. Oh man, I was just gonna film how comfy Ollie was and he sat up. He has a little bit of a different setup today because one of his beds is in North Carolina, one is in Massachusetts, and now one is in here. And then I wanted to bring the couch cushion or pillows, so I put those in there for him, and he was getting pretty comfy. We're stopped because Peter just told me he has a coupon for a free Jersey Mike sub. How's pulling the trailer?
It's good. I mean, once you're on the highway, it's not too bad. Parking in a parking lot, we're gonna take a little hike over to Jersey Mike.
Oops, I dropped an all trace, evidence that I've been here. if you come in this random parking lot in the state of Connecticut and you find my all trace, let me know. It'll be melted by then. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey guys, we just made another stop. We're about another hour and a half into our trip. We aren't halfway yet. But
We aren't?
no. But that's okay.
Okay.
You know, we're just kind of breaking it up. We not in any rush. But we stopped to get gas and some treats, and Mary had to go pee.
And other things.
So we're gonna do a little gas station haul.
Peter said, do you want to get us some treaties? And so I got us some treaties. We'll start off by these free teas that they handed me outside of the restaurant. Actually, I guess it's the company.
The tea company has a truck there that they're handing out teas. That's
So
cool.
Mango hibiscus and lemon flavor. So we've got those. And then here are the treaties.
Okay. Oh, mango, dried mango. I'm breaking into that already. Those are for Mary.
Wait, I thought you like them too.
I like them. Oh, you got cashew butter cups.
Uh-huh.
Did you know that?
I did. I
Okay.
forgot which one I went with, but yeah, cool.
Sounds good. Mike and I.
Do you like those?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because do you like those or Good and Plenty's?
These.
Okay, cool. The Good and Plenty's, I have this like memory from the VHS store, like where you rent a VHS.
Like Blockbuster?
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was, yeah. And the grimy old quarter machine that was there with Mike and Ike's, and it's like got crumbs in it. I didn't partake of those, but anyway. Okay.
Flips Minis milk chocolate covered mini pretzels. Cashews. You are in a cashew mood, I see. Salted cashews.
That's it. Nuts, fruit, pretzels, and some treaties.
Alright guys, back on the road.
Speaking of counting every blessing, I was just sitting here thinking, a few months ago, I was really, I mean, even up to 2 weeks ago, my body was really struggling. And of course, it became clear that we needed to go get evaluated at Duke, and we did that. And basically, right before we went to Duke, well, the last year or something, we've thought about, we've looked at houses in Massachusetts and like kind of dreamt about the idea of moving. The house that we live in, we don't own. So we thought about buying a house and just dreaming about that idea. And this last many months, it was a really overwhelming thought to me because my body was struggling so much. So the thought of like even just packing up and moving was so overwhelming. And then we were like, oh boy, we need to go get evaluated at Duke, which felt huge and overwhelming, and we did that. And of course the result of the week at Duke was like, now makes the most sense to go ahead and move. And somehow I didn't feel that overwhelmed by it. My body was still really struggling. Well, fast forward, we bought a house, and as we've gotten closer and closer to the time when we actually move, that's when my body's getting healthier. And it is such a gift and a blessing that it feels less overwhelming to move because my body's able to handle it better. And I just think that the timing is amazing, and I'm just in awe. When we were loading the trailer last night, did we tell them this?
No.
We're loading the couch into the top of the trailer, and the couch isn't that heavy, but it's not like a foam couch. Like, it's heavy. And I was like, okay, let me feel it. Let me see if I can do this. And I did it. And I was just like, wow. And Peter's like, Vertex is amazing. And like, I helped put things in the trailer. Number one, I had the strength for it. Number two, I wasn't coughing my brains out the whole time. I sat down and coughed afterward, but not for an excessive amount of time. It was like a natural, like, wow, that was a workout. Anyway, it's just crazy that like we were taking steps that felt really overwhelming at the time. And I knew that it was gonna be a lot on my body. I knew that packing was gonna be a huge ordeal. And we were like, well, this is what we've gotta do. And we took those steps. And here we are, time to actually take some of those steps, time to start packing things in boxes. And I was just given the gift of this medication that's helping my lungs. And now I feel like Superman, like I can do anything because I'm coughing less. So now I feel like, hey, I can actually start packing our house. Because we have this medication, it does give us kind of some breathing room as far as the transplant goes. There's always going to be that unknown of what if I catch the flu? Will it, even on this medication, will it make me plummet and need a transplant? Those are always options that are going to be there that we have no control over. And so because of that, this medication doesn't change the plans as far as our move goes. One of the transplant doctors at Duke called me last week. He said, we heard from your Boston team. They wanted to talk through a few things with us about the triple combo. We are totally on board with you being on it. He said, you know, he was asking about what's the protocol to make sure my liver's handling it. And I told him, you know, they're gonna do blood work at 2 weeks. And he said, that's perfect. And he was just basically giving me, this is great news. Like, I'm so glad you got on it. And the way he said it is, our hope is that this can stiff arm transplant for a while, meaning hold off transplant for as long as possible. And that's, you know, from the lung transplant team, that's kind of how they're thinking about this medication for me, but also other patients. And that is truly our hope. Of course, I still have my appointments that they've already made for me for my next follow-up with the lung transplant and the liver transplant teams. And those don't change. They are still following me, and all of us collectively hope that we will be stiff-arming this transplant as long as possible. But it, again, like I said, it doesn't change our plans, our move, the whole reason we felt like this is the time so that we can build our life.
Yeah.
Down.
I've heard people ask me, now that Mary's on this medication, does it make you feel like, should you have waited to move? And I'm like, no, it's all the more confirmation that now's the time to do it, because we can embrace it right now.
Yeah.
And we can like really establish our lives down there while Mary's having this boost from Vertex. And so I feel like, you know, this is such a gift that, you know what, we did decide to do it quicker than we would have because Mary was declining.
Right.
But that was what we needed to get us to make that decision. And then now that we made it, like I'm so thankful that we can go and set up our new house, and Mary can like
enjoy it,
have some more breaks in between the coughing to enjoy it. And so it really is a gift.
It is so interesting, and it's such a reminder that in life we're not going to have all the answers when we want to have all the answers. When is the drug going to be available? Is it going to work for me? Is my liver going to handle it? When will I need a transplant? Is it both organs? Is it, you know, all of these questions that we've been asking for the last long time. We didn't have all the answers, and we still don't have all the answers. But we had the information that we had, and God gives us what we need for each step of the journey, and faith and courage to take those next steps. And as we continue walking through this journey of unknowns and celebrating the victories along the way, we're glad to share the journey with you guys. I know that a lot of times specifically when we were with the during the transplant week, we kept picking up the camera and saying, like, we know you guys are gonna have a million questions, so do we. We aren't gonna have answers right now. And that's how a lot of life feels, and I'm sure you guys feel that too. And I know that you do because I talk with you guys in comments and messages about just a lot of unknowns in life and how we can all kind of relate to that. So if you are walking through unknowns right now, you're not alone. Just keep taking the next step, which we made a shirt design of that, but we'll get to that soon. We'll get to it. But anyway, guys, the rest of our drive looks a little ominous with this giant cloud ahead of us, but we'll keep taking the next step.
We have some good news though.
What?
I talked to
Oh,
you
yes.
all, and we arranged that we aren't gonna have to unload our trailer and reload it with a new reservation. We're just gonna end the first reservation, start the next one, and keep the trailer loaded.
Woo, woo.
So that's another blessing.
Yes, I am counting every blessing.
Well, guys, thanks
As
for
always.
tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow in Mercy.